And music will be cued.
Hello, and welcome to the L5H Horsemen of PA Wrestling Podcast. I am, of course, the Professor, Dave Sanders, and I'm joined tonight by almost all of us. We're all almost here, except for Francisco, who is spending time with his family still. But I am joined by the Enforcer, Justin Santiago. How are you doing tonight, Justin?
I'm doing good. Y'all already know how it is.
Nice. And I'm also joined by the Macarena Kids, Reese and Jarett. How you guys doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. Reese cannot join us tonight, so it will just be me.
Oh, I thought it was just, I thought both of you guys were there.
Yeah, so did I.
Nice, all right. Well, it's been a pretty eventful week in the world of wrestling. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. The biggest news actually just came out today. There are reports that Mark Henry is looking at possibly leaving the WWE here. Justin, do you think that that's a good idea for Mark Henry right now?
Excuse me? You come again?
Mark Henry leaving.
I think he is out his way. I mean, I think they did bring him back a little bit too early. And now that this is coming out, I mean, Vince's ego on this is just way too much. I think Vince needs to calm down on this one.
Right, and pretty much it's the fact that Mark Henry was injured and he felt that he shouldn't have been wrestling during the injuries, and Vince pretty much pushed him to wrestle through his pulled groin, his injured ankle, etc. Reese, can you blame him? Or, sorry, Jarett?
No, I can't blame him. I would assume that wrestling with an injury is pretty tough. And it seems every time they give Mark Henry a push, he gets injured. So, I don't blame him. I mean, it's sad, but I don't blame him.
And, well, if he does leave, do you see him ending up in TNA, though?
No,
ROH even?
I don't see him.
I could see him ending up in TNA. Would I like to? No.
I don't see him in there. I think he's gonna hang up his boots. I mean, he's had plenty of years put on those knees already, and well, he used to compete before in the World's Strongest Man competition, I think it was. And I think he's gonna hang up the boots with a WWE guy. After all, I do view him as a WWE guy and not going to another company.
Okay. Well, speaking of TNA, the other big news out of this week, of course, is the continuation of what appears they're turning into a storyline, the Jesse Sorensen incident, which has infuriated me among other wrestling fans that I've been talking to. The fact that they keep focusing on Jesse's injury and that they keep having Zema Ion cut promos basically saying that he has no problem with what he did. Jarett, do you think that this is right?
This is right if what happened. I mean, I don't watch TNA as much as I used to.
Pretty much, Jesse Sorensen was injured. He broke his C1 vertebrae.
Yeah.
And Zema Ion has pretty much taken the ball and ran with it as continuing to claim himself as the most dangerous high flyer in the world. and that Jesse was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, pretty much, and basically just being arrogant, you know.
Yeah. So basically, he's taking advantage of the guy that's being injured.
That's what it seems like, especially with TNA management going that way with it.
All right. Yeah, I like. Don't get me wrong. I used to watch TNA during its main event Mafia days, but I mean, I kind of lost interest.
Nice. And Justin, have you been keeping up with this story?
I kept up with Jesse Sorensen, not with TNA much. I don't watch TNA that much no more, for obvious reasons. But I think it's pretty unprofessional what they're doing right now, trying to turn this to a storyline. I mean, the man is out all the way into 2013, and I'm just not a fan of these types of storylines.
I'm not either. I actually wrote a blog on our website, L5Horsemen.webs.com, about it, about my feelings, and I'm pretty strong against it. I don't think it's right that they're taking advantage of this 22-year-old who could have been crippled for life had it gone an inch the other way, pretty much.
Could have been worse. Instead of crippled, he could have been dead because, I mean, one wrong shot to the head is all it takes.
Exactly.
Yep.
But those are pretty much the main stories. Justin, what other stories have you heard of this week?
Well, with the story of what was first led to believe that Jay and Mark Briscoe were being blocked from going to WWE by Ring of Honor, which at first got me pretty pissed off because, I mean, I want to see them in WWE because I think them, along with the possibility of the Kings of Wrestling getting back together, I think they could have rebuilt that tag team division. And now the Briscoes are coming out and saying that ROH didn't block them at all, so I don't know which side to take. I think it's more Briscoe saying that just to be like a company man. I think they are blocking him, and rightfully so. I mean, TNA, they've seen better years.
Exactly, and well, with Ring of Honor.
Yes, Ring of Honor. I'm so sorry to everybody out there.
Not TNA.
I'm still thinking about you, Jesse Sorensen. I'm so sorry, everyone.
But with Ring of Honor, though, I mean, they've lost a lot of talent in the last few months. I mean, they've lost to Chris Hero, Claudio Castagnoli. I mean, Tyler Black last year. They've lost a lot of talent to the WWE. I mean, it's almost to the point where it seems like their FCW's developmental, the way things are going. So I could see it as a smart business move, especially with how popular the Briscoes are in Ring of Honor. I can see it as a smart business move to block them from going. And plus, with the characters they have in Ring of Honor, they wouldn't be anywhere near that in the WWE. So, Jarett, I don't know if you kept up with that or not.
I did not.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I guess pretty much the only other big news I'm seeing is Triple H signed basically a 4-year extension onto his contract.
And that quickly led me to believe that when I saw Triple H sign a 4-year contract, I thought quickly politics for some reason. 4 more years, people. 4 more years.
Yes, it is. Now, if only he would run with Laurinaitis for 4 years in the White House, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
that would be scary.
But
although they'll just say that Triple H is running the company when it is Vince. In reality,
just to hear John Laurinaitis come out and do a speech and say he's the executive vice president of the United States of America and the interim Raw general manager, that would be awesome.
And
So, how about we think about this realistically? What if, honestly, what if John Laurinaitis became the vice president for any reason? Like, I know this is way off, but just think about that. How awesome would that be?
Oh, it'd be hell awesome.
I think that would be the biggest marking out anybody has ever done in the history of marking out for any reason ever.
As long as he said his job title during every speech,
yes,
that's all he needs to do. He just needs to come out and say his job title, and then that's the speech.
You know, I don't care if he does something that will send the country into the Great Depression 3 times over. As long as he says that, I'll be happy.
You mean like the past few presidents have done?
Is the what?
But off topic.
Oh, all right.
But that's pretty much the news. But it was a busy night on Raw.
And wait. I also have a little note to draw out here. Evan Bourne's suspension with WWE officially ends on Saturday, March 17th.
And his unemployment begins on March 18th.
Nah, March 19th. March 18th, offices are closed.
Gotcha.
It's a Sunday.
So, let's see, March 19th, so April, May, June. So June 19th, we'll see him down in Orlando probably.
Yeah.
But anything else that you can think of?
Not really. There hasn't been any. It's been a slow week. It
has been as far as news. But on the shows, it has been really busy.
Yes, shows have been pretty good this week. I've enjoyed them.
Now, myself, I know you guys are going to kill me out there. I did not see all of Raw. The Daytona 500 got delayed until Monday, and then I was expecting to see the Daytona 500 and then Raw. And then Juan Pablo Montoya decided to take out a jet dryer and set the track on fire. So that delayed it for about 2 hours. So I did not see Raw.
Yes, because that.
So I will let my fellow Horsemen take over from here.
Was pretty nasty this year. Got pretty ugly. Anyways, this week we had CM Punk Daniel Bryan Part 3, which I thought was a good match until, everybody else started coming in and the clusterfuck of all clusterfucks started with Long and Laurinaitis, the shoving. I think it was pretty good. And Jericho attacking Punk. What do you think about that, Reese? And Jarett? Whichever one of you.
Jarett.
Yes.
Jarett, you there?
Yeah, if you guys cut out for 30 seconds there.
Oh.
Around.
Can you hear us?
Yeah. I can hear you fine now. It was just when you guys said Jarett and Reese.
Gotcha.
My bad.
What are your thoughts on the Punk Bryan 3?
Punk Bryan Part 3?
Yes.
I would like to see it end in a pinfall or submission.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah,
we did see that though last week on Smackdown.
Huh?
Twice. We saw 3 pinfalls last week.
Yes.
On Smackdown between the two.
Yes, it was the best 2 out of 3s. And we ended up with a tie.
But I mean, personally, I'm finding it ridiculous that they're not centering around that as of now they're not centering around CM Punk's rivalry with Chris Jericho right now, or hyping the title match between Sheamus and Bryan. I mean, this is the final stretch into WrestleMania, and
Jarett,
not only has done a lot for The Rock, and The Rock and them, but I don't feel that they've done anything for world title matches.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there on that they're not building up the Punk Jericho match. I think they actually did a pretty good job on Monday with the promo prior to the match of Punk Bryan, and afterwards with Jericho coming out and attacking Punk on the steps, then doing the Lions Tamer Walls of Jericho.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that little rant I just did there was more aimed towards the Sheamus stand.
Go ahead.
Thing, because I mean, personally, I feel that they're not doing. I mean, it is the home stretch.
Oh yeah. Sheamus and Bryan, they're not building up the way they're supposed to be, but Punk and Jericho is coming around pretty nice.
Yeah, but
then
not as much as I would like to see, but I'll let them do what they have to do, but.
And I'll get into my thoughts on why they're doing that here on the topic of the day here pretty soon. But I have some theories on why they're not really focusing on the world or the WWE titles right now. But was that pretty much all that happened on Raw, or was there?
Because then we had Nikki Bella versus Kelly, but we're not gonna get into that one.
Thank you.
Yes, we had Miz basically have a squash match. My bad, with Cena.
He squashed Cena?
Cena squashed Miz.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
that sounds better.
Dave, pay attention.
Yes, I think the match was over in like 5 minutes.
Nice.
I mean, this was the main event of last year's WrestleMania, and this year it ended 5 minutes on free TV. I mean,
Well, to be fair, I don't think they got that much time last year at WrestleMania. I think they got only about 10, 15 minutes before The Rock came down.
then we had one of the matches I really enjoyed the other night was the triple threat tag team match for the WWE tag team titles. I like the match personally. Nice. That was R-Truth and Kingston versus Ziggler and Swagger versus Primo and Epico.
Now, I did actually see this match, flipping back and forth, and it was pretty good. My only question is, where's the other established tag team that should have been in this match instead of Kofi and Truth? And I'm talking about the Usos.
That's true.
Like, I don't know why they're not pushing the tag teams that they already have, and that they're trying to stick Kofi with random tag partner number 243.
Yeah, I don't want them sticking him with R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth is on the crisp of reaching that main event spot.
Yeah,
he is. Yes. I mean, he cut some solid promos before the Elimination Chamber. He had a very strong showing in the Chamber. Along with R-Truth, I think Kofi could have a title run later this year, maybe early next year.
Yeah, Kofi, I definitely see. I think they'll still have R-Truth be the gimmick, or playing the gimmick that he is right now. You know, the schizophrenic Truth. But I definitely do see him being pushed, and like as far as talent goes, he does have it. You know, and now that the fans are behind him, and he does have the popularity to have a title shot. So, but for me, it depends on who's going against for the title. But I think it would make sense for him to go for a world title, and Kofi too.
Definitely.
And then after that match,
Kofi just because he has pure talent.
That's true.
My bad.
And then after the match was done, well, we had Kane come out and just chokeslam everyone, which I just thought was stupid. I mean, I don't know what the purpose of it was.
Well, they don't have cruiserweights to do that too anymore.
Yeah, I mean,
so they have to do tag teams.
It was just so random, and I didn't even think he had like a beef with anybody in the ring. I just didn't. They didn't even have a motive behind it except for making Kane look out like a monster or something. But I don't think it was needed.
Well, we'll get to Kane here in a few minutes because he actually made a pretty big input on SmackDown.
Yes, he did.
But pretty much, it sounds like not much happened on Raw as far as match-wise. It was all promo.
Yes, especially the final promo, which I hate Cena's character. I mean, I don't like Cena at all, his character. But I mean, I was praying for him to come out and stop the promo. I mean, this promo by The Rock was just awful.
Now, would you think after seeing this promo that the that 3-minute warning needs to come back?
Did somebody say 3 minutes?
No, but I mean, like really, this promo. I mean, all it was him trying to get things trending on Twitter and everything. I mean, it was just awful. I didn't like it one bit. I was praying for Cena to come out, and he did. I mean, Cena actually left The Rock without any words. I mean, I never thought I would say something like that. I mean, Cena is actually stepping up his game.
Well, you know, it is kind of hard to remember what The Rock was trying to get trending. So what I did is I looked up a picture on a website of the notes on his wrist. And
wow.
Yes, I had to throw that in there.
I'm glad you did.
Have you ever seen that before?
No, I have not.
A wrestler has to write notes on his wrist
to
remember what to say.
No, I have not.
Especially someone with the mic skills of The Rock.
No,
and
that's
when Cena pointed that out, Rock looked like he legitimately wanted to slap Cena. I mean, like kill him.
Yes, he did.
I mean,
the man I did see that part.
The man was livid. I've never seen The Rock that lost at words and that mad ever.
And you could tell he was thrown off after Cena pointed that out because he stumbled over his words. He was saying the same thing over and over again. It was just, I mean, it was regular Rock, but just like intensified with saying the same thing over and over again.
And
I don't know.
And some of his insults weren't they just weren't good. What the hell? Kung Pao chicken? I mean, really?
Kung Pao chicken?
Right. Kung
Are you
Pao bitch
serious?
actually was the actual insult.
Yeah, but still, I mean...
I must have missed that one. Oh, gosh.
I mean, I
I don't know how, because he even said Kung Pao bitch, now trending on Twitter. He pointed out, I don't know how many things that were going to be trending on Twitter, and the sad thing was, they were. They were actually trending on Twitter. I mean, I don't know what's worse. The Rock's fan base trying to get everything that he says to trend, or Chris Brown's fan base trying to get everything to trend.
Now, this whole rivalry between Cena and The Rock is one of two things. Either A, the lamest form of cyberbullying I've ever seen, or B, a giant Yo Mama contest.
It does seem like that, doesn't it? That you had some,
I mean, it's
just
either
insult,
the lamest-
insult.
Yeah, I mean, it's either the lamest example of cyberbullying I've ever seen, or a big giant Yo Mama contest. That's all leading up to a couple slaps in the ring.
I'm trying to remember the name of that MTV show that was on a while back, where it was all just disses and stuff.
Yeah, you know,
that's what it reminds me
of. I'm referring to. Yeah.
I call for this. On the Go Home show of Raw, have Cena and Rock go into an all-out brawl, a pull-apart brawl. Have security, have jobbers come down to separate them, and just have them go on a brawl.
Well,
that is the only way I see them actually legitimately having any contact before WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get into that, because that, like I said, that is the topic of the day. Is the Cena Rock build up, the match itself.
I'm actually not even that into this match. I'm into Jericho and Punk. That's the moneymaker right there for me.
Oh, same here. But and also Hell in the Cell now.
Yes,
they have drawn me into that over the past 2 weeks.
I was skeptic at first, but when they drew the Hell in a Cell concept, I mean, I think it's gonna be well done considering who they are, and I think they could get away with anything. So if I was everyone, I'll be watching out at least for a little bit of blood, because I think Triple H and Taker, they're on the level that they could get away with anything.
Right now, we're going to go into Smackdown, which I was at. You can see our Los Five Horsemen sign a couple of times. I was actually fifth row behind the announcers. It was an awesome show. They also did tape NXT, and I will say that there was one major announcement that came out of the NXT taping. Apparently, they've just given up on having it be a seasonal thing, because they now have their own general manager in William Regal, as he has taken over the matchmaking abilities. And he actually, to quote William Regal, said that he's going to make some exciting matches with superstars you haven't seen in a long time or haven't seen before at all. So I'm hoping that means that they'll start bringing up some of the FCW talent, like the Antonio Cesaros, the Cassius Onos, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, etc., bringing them up and letting them showcase their skills.
I'm actually all for that. I mean, NXT, I think they could. I mean, they've been running so long that they need a general manager now. So,
and they couldn't have picked a better one, I don't think, besides William Regal. I mean, that was a great choice.
Yes, I think they should just use that as for guys from FTW to wrestle on. I mean,
then guys like Kurt Hawkins, Tyson Kidd.
Yeah,
won't be able to get regular time on Raw or SmackDown.
Use them to showcase the guys that are going to come up, like Tyler Black, Cassius Ono, Antonio Castagnoli. I mean, Antonio Cesaro. Confused. I got both his names mixed up. I mean,
exactly.
Richie Steamboat.
Richie Steamboat. Yeah,
I would have said Bo Rotundo, but after that, his DUI, I don't think he's going to be anywhere soon.
True. But SmackDown was actually pretty decent this week. Sheamus opened up the show with a promo on Bryan. So they were kind of progressing the Daniel Bryan-Sheamus rivalry through a promo. But Sheamus actually faced Dolph Ziggler this week in what I think was the match of the night. Ziggler impresses me more and more every time I see him.
Ziggler reminds me of a young Shawn Michaels, really, he does.
Yeah, no, he's a very good worker.
I think he's better than Shawn Michaels was at this age.
Wow.
I will go out that far with the way that he's going. As far as in-ring skills go. I will put Dolph Ziggler above Shawn Michaels at this age.
Yes, at that age, because, I mean...
That's all because he went... And that's all because he grew up around Cleveland. Thank you.
Many people don't know that.
Proud once.
You know, many people don't know that he grew up around Cleveland.
Yeah, that is true.
And that's why he is the greatest.
He's from Hollywood, Florida. You get the Miz.
He's not from Hollywood, Florida. He grew up around Cleveland.
But that was a pretty good match. And then we got John Laurinaitis talking with Teddy Long. I guess they're going to be switching brands next week. Teddy Long's going to be taking over Raw, and John Laurinaitis taking over SmackDown. This may have a couple of storyline impacts, which I'll get into here later on through the SmackDown review. Because Johnny Ace is well received among some of the SmackDown talent, like Mark Henry and Christian.
The Ace team, if you will.
Yes, the Ace
Thank
team.
you to Matthew
and of course, Del Rio
for putting that one up.
Yes, that was an awesome video.
That was one of the best endings I've ever seen.
It was. It was awesome. But all in all, a good show. The highlight of the night for me was Daniel Bryan. He not only was in the main event against Randy Orton, which I'll get to that here in a minute, but the dark match was Daniel Bryan, who's the hometown kid. He's from Aberdeen, Washington. I'm in Tacoma. He faced off against the Big Show, and every time Daniel Bryan hit one of his kicks on Big Show, the whole crowd literally went yes, like he would do the yeses down the ramp and everything. And it was just so surreal because he is still the heel, but because it was a dark match, and I think the fans knew it was a dark match, they just did that, and it was awesome. Nice. And for the crowd that was there, way to go on doing that, too.
Yes.
But,
yes. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But, like I said, not much else happened. We got another Natalia fart joke, which I think is still embarrassing.
I mean, that's just out of control.
It's not only embarrassing, it's disgraceful. I mean, we've said it a bunch of times on this program, but I think it just needs to be said more. It is really disgraceful.
It is. And then we did get a new WrestleMania match made. With the announcement of Money in the Bank actually having its own pay-per-view again this year, it's not going to be at WrestleMania, so that frees up Cody Rhodes to defend his Intercontinental title. So that would be good, but I would rather see it against somebody else right now because the Big Show just came out of a very intense feud. Yeah. Back to the main event. Randy Orton was about to hit his DDT on the outside to Bryan. Then all of a sudden, Kane's pyro hit, which scared the hell out of all of us because no one was expecting it. And Kane came out and actually destroyed Randy Orton. So I'm guessing they're setting up a Kane versus Randy Orton feud for Mania.
How big does Kane look in person? Like
he looks huge, and he looks like he's going to just destroy everything in his path. I mean, yeah. I can't even describe it in words. But there was a part where Daniel Bryan ran from the ring and AJ was still in the ring when Kane was in the ring. And, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. AJ did get out. Don't worry, it doesn't happen to AJ this time.
So
in other words...
But Bryan ran like a little girl and left AJ standing there.
I'm so glad she got out.
Yes, same here. But, yeah, Kane chokeslammed Orton. I was surprised he didn't do the pyro, bring the fire out of the ring post. I was actually looking forward to that, but that didn't happen. But that was how they ended out SmackDown this week. So, tentative card. It looks like we're going to get, of course, Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus for the World Heavyweight title. Chris Jericho versus CM Punk for the WWE title. The Hell in the Cell with Triple H and The Undertaker. Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title. And quite possibly a Kane versus Randy Orton match at WrestleMania.
Which I would like to see.
And what about...
Well, they need to have something for them to do.
But then again, I could probably just see that match on SmackDown by itself.
Dave.
Yeah.
You miss Punk, Jericho, and Cena Rock.
No, I said Punk Jericho, and I left Cena Rock off on purpose.
And you forgot Team Johnny versus Team Teddy.
Yes,
Which,
that is
if they
probably...
don't capitalize on the situation of having two different teams, I don't see the point.
Exactly.
I mean, this WrestleMania actually has the potential to be the best WrestleMania of all time.
On paper,
Really?
it is looking like it. On paper, it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, so far, besides the Cena Rock, which I think is going to be the second Goldberg Brock Lesnar. I don't care what any of you guys say, but I think it is looking up to be pretty good. Whether or not it's better than, it's going to be better than my favorite WrestleMania, which is WrestleMania 24. I don't know. But then again, WrestleMania 24 and this WrestleMania take place in like the same city, don't they?
True.
So,
But
and I love the whole atmosphere of WrestleMania 24. You know, being the whole outdoor thingy. So maybe it could play again.
well, we are getting that again this year at Sun Life Stadium, the outdoor atmosphere. And
speaking
like I
of
said, I
outdoor
did
stadiums,
oh, go ahead.
WrestleMania 29 is going to be
Yep.
held
Jersey.
at MetLife Stadium. I mean, outdoors in New Jersey
In April.
in
Are you
April. I mean,
serious?
whoever thought about that one, I mean, my hat's off to you. I mean, you're a true genius. I mean, don't you think that the guys that wear trunks are gonna freeze their asses off?
Oh yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah.
laugh if it starts snowing.
I mean, I always get pissed off that I kind of realize that WrestleMania is not coming to Cleveland because, like, you take a look at Brown Stadium, it's huge. It seats 80,000 people.
Why the hell would they go to
It could
Cleveland?
seat 80,000 people, but the thing is, it's going to be in April, and the weather in Cleveland is unpredictable, and the stadium is right by Lake Erie, and we get lake effect. I don't know if you guys know what that is, and the weather is going to be sucky as hell. So I kind of realize that it's not going to be taking place in Cleveland, but MetLife Stadium, it'll be interesting. It will be interesting.
Well, like I said, I did leave Cena and The Rock. Basically, I didn't mention that for a reason because, as I said, that is our topic of the night. The build-up to, quote, the most anticipated match in WrestleMania history, unquote.
Is not.
I am really feeling that way too, Jarett. I am
not looking forward to this match at all. Like,
okay, thank you.
when I go
I'm
back,
glad I'm not the only one. I thought I was the
dude.
only person that was a wrestling fan that doesn't care.
You don't understand.
That is not Team Rock or Team Cena.
Oh, dude. When I go back to check in the history books, it's like how many matches WrestleMania 28 had. I'm just going to I'm basically going to do what WWE did on Chris Benoit and not even count it. I'm not even going to count it.
Because this whole build-up has been about
Nothing.
Cena and The Rock.
That
is it. The Royal Rumble was basically a big commercial for Cena and The Rock. I mean, we got 2 10-plus minute video packages.
Yeah, but the thing is,
each
they
of them.
think that they can win us over and be hyped with these commercials, and it's not working.
I mean,
At
Justin...
least not for me. At least not for me.
I mean, Justin, you made some comments. I know you're not a Cena fan by any means.
No, I'm not.
And doesn't sound like you're much of a Rock fan either.
No, I mean, I'm not a Cena fan. I mean, I'm not a fan of Cena, the character. I mean, Cena, the man, I respect the hell out of him. I mean,
Right.
That's a true inspiration right there. But I'm not a fan of The Rock. I mean, The Rock, it just seems that he's just out there for himself. I mean, I just don't like. I've never been a big fan of The Rock, even doing the Attitude Era. I was more of a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy. I mean, I just don't like The Rock. Really, I don't.
And I'm on the same boat. I couldn't stand The Rock. I will fight to this day. It's an elbow drop. It is not a finishing move.
No.
Especially in this day and age. Back maybe in Hogan's day, it could be a finisher. But not now. Not even in the Attitude Era. The only
Depends.
reason it was so popular was because of the way they hyped it up.
Yes.
And I don't think... It's like the Worm to me.
Yes,
It's the most ridiculous looking thing to me.
Yeah.
The only elbow drop that's allowed to be a finisher is the one from the top rope from the late great Randy Savage.
Exactly.
And CM Punk's bringing that bringing that back in a pretty good way.
Yes, I do like that.
Yeah,
Punk.
I mean, he's basically paying homage to the late great Randy Savage.
Definitely.
And to be honest, I would not want to see a superstar use it other than CM Punk.
No.
Because it looks like that not only does he know how to use it, he can respect the move, and it seems other people, those hardcore wrestling fans, I think they can respect CM Punk using that.
Exactly. But just this whole build-up, ever since the day after WrestleMania last year, when they announced Cena versus The Rock as the main event, first of all, I have a big problem with that. It's a year in advance.
Yes.
What would have happened if Rock got injured on one of the sets to his movies? What would have happened if Cena would have gotten hurt? Because he's not invincible, as he's proven. I mean, things happen. What if Cena would have gotten hurt? Where would they be, do you think, Justin?
Well, they'll be scrambling right now. If Cena would have got hurt, they probably would have put Miz in Cena's position. And if Rock would have got hurt, then they would have hot shot the title to Cena. I mean, I don't think it was that bad. I don't think it was that good. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they took the risk, but I don't think that you should say something that early without. I mean, I know that the card is all subject to change, but I mean, you're gonna start building that match 1 year in advance. I mean, you gotta make sure that these guys don't get injured at all. I mean, pretty hard.
But that's the thing, though.
I mean, like,
this.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you honestly want to, like, two high-profile wrestlers making this, and I'm using quotation marks here, high profile of a match, you must lock them up in, like, cells, just to keep them safe. It kind of ticked me off that when John Cena said something about this being the biggest WrestleMania match of all time, they're saying it like it's true fact. Like they're just simply telling us, oh yeah, no, you don't have to second guess. This is going to be the biggest match of all time. You don't got to worry. And that just made me, it's just the whole situation is a little bogus to me.
But that's the thing, too. I mean, they announced it a year in advance, but there was literally no build-up. There was
none.
Just some Twitter stuff between them for about the next 6-7 months.
Like I said, it's
until around Survivor
over
Series.
to Yo Mama contest. It's cyberbullying.
Pretty much.
Then it contradicts the whole Be a Star thing.
Oh yeah,
Which,
The Rock.
in my opinion, Be a Star is a good organization. All right, prevents kids from being bullied. Yeah, I get that. WWE is the worst spokesman for that company or that organization. Period.
I mean, The Rock by himself is basically the opposite of Be a Star. I mean, look at his promos since he's been back.
And it basically, in my opinion, it's saying that wrestling is fake. Because, we may bully people inside of the ring, but off camera and outside of the ring, we don't want you to be bullied, Well,
I don't know. After Monday, it looked like The Rock really wanted to bully Cena.
So,
I mean, he looked legit pissed.
Yeah.
Yes, and I give props to Cena for managing that.
Now, whether that was scripted or not is up for discussion, but
it was well done.
To have Rock basically tank a promo like that doesn't sound right. I mean, The Rock goes all out in his promos. That is the one thing that he does do well.
Yes, and he will not allow himself to be tanked like that. Doesn't matter if it was scripted or not. He wouldn't allow it. Which is why I think it's actually real. I mean, like, I think that when Rock Frost went back through that curtain, I mean, like, he didn't want to talk to no one.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. But, like I was saying, though, about 6 months between the day the match was announced and Survivor Series, very little contact between the two. Rock didn't even really come back until, 2 weeks before Survivor Series? And that was via satellite?
Yeah.
And his first in-ring return after that was Survivor Series?
Yeah. I mean, like, for God's sakes, on the 10th anniversary edition of Smackdown, he didn't even come. He just came via satellite.
Exactly. But how can you build properly, properly build a match when they don't communicate with each other for the most of the year, up until the last couple months?
I mean,
how can you get people to care
unless you
without
make
it getting shoved down our throats?
A solid, proof plan. Like, I'm saying every week you have these two talking about it, or even if they're on show, like talk shows, talk about this match. You need the hype. Even if it's a year in advance, because people are going to forget about it, because even I forgot about it. Right. So, I mean, you gotta make sure that you are doing the right thing as a company.
Exactly. And
make money and to stay successful. All right.
And that's one thing I will give Cena props for, because he did actually, every time he was on camera, it seemed like he was promoting his match with The Rock. He was saying he was in a feud with The Rock. He was going to be facing him at WrestleMania, blah, blah, blah. The Rock, not so much.
Yeah,
He'd be promoting G.I. Joe 2 or Journey 2.
Unless G.I. Joe and Journey 2 are the greatest movies ever made, this was not worth it.
No.
Maybe be fun movies because they're going to be in 3D, and G.I. Joe's going to have a bunch of dudes shooting at each other, and Bruce Willis is going to be in it. I honestly don't care. While doing this, you may be a movie fan, fine, but there are a bunch of other people affected by this, the wrestling fans, the wrestling community, who are getting very frustrated with all this.
And back to Survivor Series for a moment. The fact that they're blaming one man for horrible buy rates, and that man is not either Cena or The Rock, that is ludicrous to me.
It's the Miz. Why? I know why. He's from Cleveland, right, Reese? I mean, Jarett.
No, I don't think that's it.
But on a serious note, I mean, there was also a fourth person involved in that. There was R-Truth.
Yes.
I mean, why wasn't he even brought up? Why wasn't Cole brought up for burying the Miz and Truth on?
If I were to blame anybody, it would be Cole. Like when I watch Raw, I don't honestly want to watch Raw because of Cole. To be honest,
to me, the blame to me falls on Cena and The Rock.
Yeah.
My reasons are many, but the main one, the Raw before Survivor Series, Cena came out and just destroyed the Miz and Truth. Why would he need The Rock 6 days later to help him do that? That doesn't make sense in any way, shape, or form to me. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I completely agree.
Well, we are talking about WWE. I mean, their logic is non-existent.
That is true.
Well, lack of thereof.
But then we also fast forward another month to the TLC pay-per-view, where not only was Cena not on, there was no mention of The Rock whatsoever, and that was probably the pay-per-view of the year.
Yes, and it did over 220,000 buys.
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it did better than Survivor Series.
It did, by about, I think, 30 or 40,000 buys.
And that's massive.
Which Survivor Series is supposed to be one of the, quote, big four pay-per-views of the year. So, that's like one of their Grand Slam events.
Yes, it is.
But then we get to the Rumble, and it's pretty much just a 3-hour commercial for The Rock and Cena. Same thing with the Chambers. And pretty much an hour of each show, it seems like, is dedicated to Rock or Cena video packages or interview times. And if that's how they're going to try and generate interest, I don't think it's the right way to go. I don't know exactly what the right way to go would be to do this, because to me, they've painted themselves in a corner by booking this match a year in advance.
Yeah, and you know what? If this match isn't even good at all, which it probably won't, I think it's going to be the second Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg.
Well, to me, the crowd is going to be exhausted.
Oh, yeah.
From not only Triple H Taker,
yeah,
Jericho Punk, Brian Sheamus, which I'm a traditionalist. That should be the main event of WrestleMania. I don't care who else is on the card.
Yeah.
Because Sheamus won the Royal Rumble.
Yes. And
he deserves to be in the main event of WrestleMania, which is where the Rumble winner always goes.
Yes. But the thing is, just to make this make any lick of sense, and it's not gonna, and what I'm gonna say will make no sense at all. But tell me if this makes any more sense than scheduling the match a year in advance. Stone Cold comes back and whoops the shit out of John Cena and The Rock.
Well,
how
as far as Stone Cold, I don't see that happening with Cena and The Rock because the match everyone wants to see right now is Punk and Austin. But I don't think they would build that up for a year. They would let that probably start out at Royal Rumble or even the Chamber.
Yeah.
But not a year in advance. I mean, no one should be that big that they get booked into the main event of WrestleMania the year before the event happens.
I mean, like, even if you are the poster child of the company, you know.
As Cena is.
And I did, and, you know, it's all for the fans, but I think creative really should have thought this over more of how frustrated the fans would be. Because let's face it, the fans are what they make the money off of. Mm. So maybe they should have listened to them more. Or, you know, like maybe they just should open like a little comment bar on WWE.com. You know, I mean, I know this isn't all thought out logic. This is off the top of my head. But, you know, plausible.
It's just as good as WWE then.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like the last couple sentences were just coming off the top of my head. But
Justin, let me get your thoughts on this. I mean, is this fair to the Dolph Zigglers, to the CM Punks, to the Chris Jericho, sorry, not Jericho's, to the Cody Rhodes, to the Big Shows, the Mark Henrys, that a man who hasn't been in the business for 7 years gets thrown into the main event of the biggest show of the year?
Well, yes, I have part problem with it because, I mean, everybody knows that they really have celebrities and everything. I mean, I don't have a problem with him being on the show. I have a problem with it being the main event.
Exactly, yeah.
That's my problem right there. And I know people are going to say, oh, Rock makes money for the company. Rock done this more than everyone else. But, I mean, people are legitimately, they have the right to legitimately be pissed off. I mean, they go on tour, country to country. I mean, they barely even see their families. Like, how much do they work? Like, 350 days out of all 355?
About that, yeah.
I mean, and they tour the whole world and everything. And just for somebody that he does a movie for, like, 3 months, he shoots the movie 3-6 months. He does a little promotion work, rest up a little bit, meets his family, get wined and dined and all that, then goes back. I mean, it's insulting to them. I mean, I am... And then for the Rock's nerve to say that some people don't understand the business.
Oh God!
And many people saying that. I mean, that just pisses me off so much. I mean, you could say that people say, but that means that more money, which means more money for everyone else. I don't think people even care about the money at this point. I think they just want to be a part of the show. I mean, they just want to entertain, and I'm actually I could respect that. I mean, because we used to see sometimes that some guys used to come in for the money. But I mean, like this new crop of guys, they want to go out, put on the best show every night for everyone else. And some of the fans don't appreciate that, and that pisses me off.
I mean, Triple H said it the best 2 weeks ago to The Undertaker. They're the last of a dying breed, Triple H and Taker. This is a whole different type of wrestler that's in the WWE nowadays. And I don't think The Rock gets that.
And you want my honest opinion? In the future, I think WWE Wrestling is going to have some of the best technical wrestling that we ever seen.
Especially if they keep getting guys like Bryan and Punk, and if they end up getting like an Eddie Edwards.
And all the other guys that they have down in developmental and everything.
Oh, yeah. The Tyler Blacks, the Dean Ambroses.
Yeah. Plus you have Ziggler and Rhodes going for... Wow, like 12, 15 more years.
Oh, easily. Especially Ziggler. I mean, he's going to be the face of this company.
Orton still has 11 years in him.
Easily, yeah. Unless he keeps getting concussions or shoulder injuries. But, I mean, we could probably go on about this for hours.
Oh,
because of how big this match is, and I don't know if this is the right kind of attention that WWE wants for this match, but Jarett has said that it's going to be like the Goldberg-Brock Lesnar from WrestleMania 20. I don't think it'll be that bad.
Oh, I think
but it has the potential to be a stinker compared to the rest of the card that's already filling out. And that's why I ran down the card, even the potential card, before we got into this segment, because even without Rock and Cena being on there, look at the main event caliber talent. Look at the main event caliber matches that are on the card already. Without that on there, this show could have survived without a Cena Rock being on it.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, I just don't want to be in the main event. That's all. I mean,
and unfortunately, it's sad, but it's going to be, and I hate that. I hate that for the CM Punk Jericho match. I really hate it for the Sheamus Daniel Bryan match, because not only were they screwed out of WrestleMania last year, because they were supposed to be in a U.S. title match last year and it got bumped from the card. Why not make it up to them by letting them main event the biggest show of the year for the World Heavyweight title?
It makes too much sense. It makes too much sense.
Or not just have Punk and Jericho main event if you didn't trust them that much. I mean, have a title match.
I mean, the titles at this time of the year, to me, mean nothing. Especially this year because of Cena Rock, but normally it's because of Taker's streak. To me, Taker's streak is bigger than the titles at WrestleMania time.
And I'm one of the few people that just want the streak to end.
Oh, I want it to end.
No, I actually have a legit feeling in my gut. I mean, I don't want to believe that it's going to end with Triple H, but I have a feeling in my gut. It's happening this year. I mean, I
want it to
everybody
end.
Says that. I'm sorry, but everybody says that.
I want it to end, but not to H. I want it to end to someone that will benefit from it.
Yeah,
Sheamus. I mean, Sheamus or Rhodes. I mean, somebody's going to be the future.
Exactly. A Sheamus, a Rhodes, a Barrett, a Ziggler, Punk even. I mean, he's already main event caliber, but he could be just that much more if he's the guy that ends the streak. I mean, that would solidify him as
the best in the world.
But that's another topic for another day, as I like to say. Any final thoughts on Cena Rock?
I think we
pretty much made our point done.
Yeah, like without me rage quitting, I think we went through them all.
Right. Well, I guess it's shameless plug time. Go ahead and come onto our website, those5horsemen.webs.com.
The final shots, Jarett.
Oh yeah, we'll get to final thoughts here.
Oh, I mean, I said I wouldn't. I don't think I would be able to say any final thoughts about the Cena Rock without rage quitting.
Oh no, final thoughts. Period.
Oh, period. We need to share more time on the Bryan Sheamus rivalry. I don't think that they've been shedding too much time on that at all.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think within the next week start.
I just wanted to tell everyone that I'm starting to design at least a T-shirt for the show. So if anybody's interested, I mean, I will send to make them, but I need to know that people are actually interested. So, and another thing, I want to throw a shout out to DJ Bot. Thanks for the entrance. For our theme song. Thank you very much. It's highly appreciated, and keep on doing what you do. And we wish you well in your tour coming up right now. He's gonna be touring Texas and Arizona, and I wish him the best.
Very good. And yes, thank you very much for all your support out there. Those of us that do listen, we are going to try and do some live shows here more. Definitely join us for WrestleMania. We are going to have a huge party for that.
Yeah, 4+ hours.
Yes. And we'll be on probably about a half hour before the show starts. So join us then. We will be back next week. Next week we have a very special guest joining us too. If you are a fan of the Chill Shack with Chill Mascaris, he will be on the show. Mr. Mascaris will be joining us for the best of the 80s WrestleManias.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be going over all the top moments, all the best parts of WrestleManias 1 through 5.
So that means that this week I'm going to be brushing up on my WrestleMania history.
So I already have them all queued up and ready to go. So
I'm going to have to brush up
if there's
on
no other final thoughts? No other final thoughts, correct?
I don't think so, except that I'm awesome, but we already knew
that's something we already knew. So
and also I wanted to say that I'm gonna be providing pictures in our Facebook page of the house show coming here in Puerto Rico for March 24th. So if anybody is interested in watching any pictures and videos and anything, I'll put it there. I'll try. I'm not promising, but I'll try to see if I could at least get a shout out from one of the superstars and get a picture taken with them. I'll post that up.
Yep, kind of like I did with Ted DiBiase.
Yes.
And the DiBiase Posse Party.
Yeah, I'll be.
And yes, Ted DiBiase does support Los Five Horsemen. Thank you for that, Ted.
Thank you, Teddy. Oh God, I was going to call him Teddy.
Thank you, Ted DiBiase.
Thank you, Ted.
And speaking of that,
I'm hoping he comes out good off his feud with Unico, because Unico, many people don't know this, but he got a bicycle.
Bicycle.
But Justin, you did mention our Facebook page. Yes, come find us. Facebook.com/Los Five Horsemen.
You hit us up on Twitter. All of us. I'm Justin L5H at Justin L5H.
And I'm at SandersD84 L5H.
And I am at Jarett the Dude. Nothing more. I haven't been on Twitter in forever.
And also follow the official Twitter of L5H. At Los Five Horsemen.
And of Francisco Bastion also.
Oh, yes. At Relic.
And don't be shy. Add me as a friend on Twitter. I mean, on Facebook. My bad. Don't be shy.
Same here. We love talking to our fans, and we love talking to everybody. And definitely leave us feedback, positive, negative, as long as the negative is constructive, something we can work on.
Yes.
Don't just say you guys are fags, like some people we know.
Yeah.
And one more thing I would like to say. I forgot to mention this. I can't believe I did. But we will also be starting gameplay series of podcasts also.
Yes. Do you want to elaborate further on that?
Yes, we're gonna be having a couple of gameplay of video games like WWE 12. We were gonna play. I'm playing TNA, but I remember. I mean, it's a TNA video game, and that was just awful. And we will be posting it on the forum section of the WWE games also. So if you're there and you want to join in and give us your thoughts, we're gonna be giving our reviews of the game and everything. And we're gonna be trying to do that at least each week, right, Dave?
Yes, we are. And actually, that is going to be our official Los Five Horsemen WrestleMania prediction podcast. Will be the WrestleMania card, and that will be the official Los Five Horsemen predictions for WrestleMania.
Yes.
Anything else anybody wants to say?
Like I said, come to our website, los5horsemen.webs.com. We do have chat room. We had some people in it tonight, but I guess we had some technical difficulties, which I fixed. But everything should be working next week. Like I said, definitely come check us out. Show Mascaris on the show. It's going to be some fun times.
And go visit go look up on Google. The Bondian Chong Ghost comic and read it. It's some good reading right there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that is hands down one of the best comics I've ever read. If you're really into comics or reading any good literature, that is one of the best. It's a little bit thrilling in the middle, but it ends with a great conclusion. Fantastic. Has your heart beating the entire time.
And if you're epileptic, please don't do it.
Yes.
If you're smart, don't do it at all.
But yeah.
Curiosity.
But yeah, everything else is going good.
We all good. We'll be coming back next week, I guess.
Yep. It'll be probably around the same time, right after Smackdown on the East Coast.
Yes, it will.
Which I believe is 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
So go ahead and join us again. And for my fellow horsemen, I am the Professor Dave Sanders. Thanks for riding with the Horsemen.